And welcome everyone. I'm so glad you're here. Today's lesson is all about kindness and gratitude, two powerful ways we connect with others. We'll learn new vocabulary, explore traditions like World Kindness Day and Thanksgiving in the USA, and practice using kind words and phrases in everyday life. By the end of this lesson, you'll be able to describe feelings related to kindness and thankfulness, use phrases and idioms to talk about kind actions, understand the history of two important celebrations, and practice speaking and listening with real-life examples. What's one kind thing someone did for you recently? Before we talk about traditions and idioms, let's take a moment to focus on how kindness and gratitude feel. In this section, we'll learn 5 powerful words that describe emotions we often experience when someone is kind to us, or when we do something kind for others. These words will help you express yourself more clearly and connect with others in a meaningful way. Let's begin with our first word, grateful. Grateful is feeling thankful because someone has helped you or something good has happened. Content. Content is feeling quietly happy and satisfied with what you have. Touched. Feeling emotionally moved by someone's kind words or actions. Compassionate. Compassionate is a word we use to describe people who care deeply about other people's feelings, especially when they're suffering or upset. Appreciative. This is showing that you understand and values someone's efforts or kindness. Now that we've explored how kindness feels, let's look at how we talk about kind actions. In English, we often use short phrases to describe everyday gestures of kindness, things like helping a friend, welcoming someone new, or showing appreciation. These phrases make your speech more natural and expressive. In this activity, you'll match each phrase to its use. Listen carefully, think about the meaning, and see if you can find the perfect match. Ready? Let's do the first one together. Lend a helping hand. What do you think this means? It's a way to say help someone. It literally means to add your hands to the task, like helping with the washing up or tidying a room. Now, try to match the others. Go out of one's way. Show appreciation. Offer support. Give someone a warm welcome. Press pause if you need a little extra time. The answer's coming in 3, 2, 1. Go out of one's way. This means to make a special effort to help someone, even when it's not easy or expected. For example, she went out of her way to bake a cake for her colleague's birthday, even though she was busy. Show appreciation. This means to say thank you or recognize someone's effort or kindness. You can do this with words, actions, or even a small gift. For example, he showed appreciation by writing a thank you note to his teacher. Offer support. This means to help someone emotionally or practically, especially when they're going through a difficult time. For example, when I was feeling stressed, my friend offered support by listening and checking in on me. Give someone a warm welcome. This means to greet someone kindly and make them feel comfortable and accepted, especially when they're new. For example, I was new to class, but everyone gave me a warm welcome. Let's take a moment to explore some beautiful idioms that help us talk about kindness and gratitude in everyday life. These expressions aren't just colourful, they're meaningful, and they help us connect with others in a deeper way. Give someone their due. This means recognizing someone's efforts or good qualities, even if you don't always agree with them. We might say, I don't always get along with him, but I'll give him his due. He works incredibly hard. It's a way of being fair and respectful. Go the extra mile. This means making a special effort to help someone or do something well. For example, she went the extra mile to make sure everyone felt welcome at the event. We use this when someone does more than expected, out of kindness or care. A heart of gold. This describes someone who is very kind and generous. You might hear, he's got a heart of gold, always helping others without asking for anything in return. It's a lovely way to praise someone's character. Count your blessings. This means to be thankful for the good things in your life, especially when things feel difficult. For instance, I know it's been a tough week, but try to count your blessings. There's still a lot to be grateful for. It's a gentle reminder to focus on the positives. Pay it forward. This means doing something kind for someone because someone else was kind to you. You might say, after receiving help, she decided to pay it forward by volunteering at the shelter. It's about keeping kindness moving, like a ripple effect. These idioms are perfect for conversations, stories, and even thank you notes. Try using one this week when you speak or write in English. It's a lovely way to share warmth and appreciation. Now it's time to practice your listening skills with a short story called The Kindness Chain. In this story, you'll hear how kindness and gratitude can spread from one person to another, just like a ripple in a pond. As you listen, pay close attention to the feeling words and idioms we've learned today. You'll hear phrases like touched, grateful, and go the extra mile. Try to understand how they're used in real-life situations. After the story, you'll answer a few questions to check your understanding. Don't worry, they're designed to help you think about the meaning, not just remember the words. So get comfortable, listen closely, and let's explore how kindness connects us all. Last week, Maya was feeling a bit low. She had just moved to a new town and didn't know anyone. But things changed when her neighbour, Mrs. Patel, knocked on the door with a homemade pie and a warm smile. Maya was touched by the gesture. It made her feel welcome. Mrs. Patel had a heart of gold. She always helped others, even when she was busy. She told Maya, when I moved here years ago, someone welcomed me. Now I like to pay it forward. The next day, Maya met Tom, a teenager who was struggling with his homework. She offered to help him study. Tom was grateful and said, "Thanks for taking the time. You really went the extra mile to explain everything." Later that week, Maya joined a local charity event. She noticed a quiet man picking up litter and helping set up chairs. "Let's give him his due," she said. "He's done so much today." After the event, Maya sat in the park, watching the sunset. She felt content, happy and peaceful. She thought about all the kind people she'd met and decided to count her blessings. She also felt appreciative of the community's warmth and compassionate towards others who might be feeling lonely, just like she had. Now try to answer the questions. Why did Maya feel touched when Mrs. Patel visited her? What does pay it forward mean? And how did Mrs. Patel demonstrate it? And how did Maya feel at the end of the story? And which idiom describes her reflection? Great work! Now let's go through the answers together and see how kindness showed up in the story. Question 1. Why did Maya feel touched when Mrs. Patel visited her? Maya felt touched because Mrs. Patel brought her a homemade pie and welcomed her with warmth. It was a kind gesture that made Maya feel cared for, especially since she was new in town. What does pay it forward mean, and how did Mrs. Patel demonstrate it? Pay it forward means doing something kind for someone because someone else once helped you. Mrs. Patel showed this by helping Maya settle in, just like someone had helped her when she first moved into the neighborhood. How did Maya feel at the end of the story, and which idiom describes her reflection? Maya felt content, peaceful, and happy. She thought about all the kind people she'd met and decided to count her blessings, which means being thankful for the good things in your life. These answers show how kindness, gratitude, and thoughtful language can help us connect with others. You're doing brilliantly. Keep practicing. And don't forget to use some of these words and idioms in your own stories and conversations. Now let's learn a little bit about World Kindness Day. It's celebrated on the 13th of November and started in 1998 by the World Kindness Movement, a group of organizations from countries like Japan, Canada, and Australia. The idea is simple: encourage people to do kind things and remind us that kindness is a universal value. Today is celebrated in many countries, including the UK, the USA, Singapore, and Nigeria. Think about your own culture. How do people show kindness where you live? Share it in the comments. Kindness is everywhere. It's part of being human. Now let's look at Thanksgiving in the USA. It's celebrated on the fourth Thursday of November. The first Thanksgiving was in 1621, when Pilgrims and Wampanoag people shared a meal after a successful harvest. In 1863, President Abraham Lincoln made it a national holiday to bring people together during the Civil War. Today, Thanksgiving is about family, food, and giving thanks. People enjoy meals like roast turkey, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie, and many help others through charity or volunteering. What foods or traditions do you associate with thankfulness? In this activity, we're going to practice two important past tenses, the past simple and the past perfect. Let's start with a quick explanation. We use the past simple to talk about something that happened at a specific time in the past. For example, I ate breakfast at 8 o'clock. We use the past perfect to show that one action happened before another past action. It's like saying, I had eaten breakfast before I left the house. So the past perfect helps us show the order of events, what happened first. In this exercise, you'll see sentences in the past simple. Your job is to rewrite them using the past perfect to show that one thing happened earlier. Pause the video if you need more time. Let's go through the answers. I had eaten breakfast before I left the house. She had finished the report before the meeting started. They had cleaned the kitchen before the guests arrived. He had forgotten his umbrella, so he got wet. He had visited the museum before we went to the cafe. The teacher had explained the rules before the game began. I had read the book before I watched the film. She had sent the email before I could reply. They had left early because they had missed the bus. He had bought flowers before he went to see his friend. Now it's your turn to write. We've explored how kindness feels, how we talk about it, and how it shows up in everyday life. You've learned powerful vocabulary, meaningful idioms, and how to use past tenses to describe real experiences. In this final activity, I'd love for you to write about a moment of kindness, something you experienced or something you offered to someone else. Use the words and phrases we've practiced today and try to include 2 feeling words, for example, grateful, touched, content, 2 idioms, like go the extra mile or pay it forward, 1 sentence in the past perfect, and 1 in the past simple. Take your time, reflect, and write from the heart. And if you feel comfortable, share your answer with the Facebook group or in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to pay it forward. Let's celebrate kindness 1 sentence at a time. Here's my example. Last winter, I was feeling overwhelmed with work and hadn't had time to decorate my flat for the holidays. One evening, my friend Emma surprised me. She had brought fairy lights, biscuits, and a small tree. I was truly touched by her thoughtfulness. She really went the extra mile to make me feel festive and cared for. Before she arrived, I had been working all day without a break, so her visit meant even more. We listened to music, decorated together, and laughed a lot. I felt so grateful for her kindness. A few days later, I saw a neighbour struggling with heavy shopping bags. I remembered how Emma had helped me, so I decided to pay it forward and offered to carry them. She smiled and said thank you. It felt good to help someone else. Well done, everyone. You've reached the end of our lesson of kindness and gratitude, and I couldn't be prouder of your progress. Today you explored powerful feeling words like grateful, touched, and content. You learned how to use idioms like go the extra mile and pay it forward to express kindness in a natural, meaningful way. And you practiced using the past simple and past perfect to talk about real-life experiences. That's a lot to celebrate. Remember, kindness isn't just something we learn. It's something we live. Every time you use these words, share a kind thought, or help someone else, you're making the world a little brighter. So take a moment to count your blessings, and maybe even pay it forward by sharing what you've learned with someone else. Keep practicing, keep smiling, and I'll see you in the next lesson. You've done brilliantly. Well done.